Welcome on board, Chosen One. Looks like you finally stepped into the room they swore you'd never reach. And the funniest part is how quiet it got the second you arrived. They talk big until the universe starts backing you. Then suddenly everyone forgets how loud they were. Remember when they said you were doing too much, when they laughed at your choices, when they acted like your courage was some kind of joke? Now look at them. The same people who rolled their eyes are the ones slowing down their steps, trying to understand how you survived everything they thought would break you. The same enemies who mocked you in public now watch you in private, scared to blink because they might miss the moment you finally take over. The shift around you isn't random, it's the aftermath of a battle they didn't even know you were fighting. While they were busy underestimating you, you were choosing faith over fear in ways that made the universe pause. You were making decisions that didn't make sense to anyone except the version of you who refused to break. And that version, the one covered in doubt, bruised by reality, still standing anyway, is the one someone influential finally noticed. There's a certain silence that follows a storm, and you're standing right in it. It's that eerie, powerful calm where the air feels different, where even the people who dislike you can't deny something shifted. They won't say it, but their actions scream it. They don't know if they should greet you, avoid you, or pretend they didn't spend months waiting for you to fall. Someone with real pull, real reach, real influence has been watching you longer than you think. Not the audience pretending to care, not the friends who only show up when things look pretty. Someone who actually matters. Someone who sees things the average person can't. They weren't paying attention to your highlights. They were studying the moments you thought nobody would ever understand. The late nights where you were breaking down but kept going. The mornings where you woke up tired but still made decisions aligned with the person you wanted to become. The days when fear told you to sit still, but your faith told you to move anyway. Strength isn't loud, cute, or flashy. Strength looks like you dragging yourself forward when every part of your life felt stuck. Strength is choosing hope when your past tried to choke you, holding your ground when people you trusted walked away and expected you to collapse. And that's exactly what someone influential saw. They weren't impressed, they were stunned, because survival at your level isn't luck, it's rare character. People trust the ones who stay calm in chaos, more than the ones who only shine in good times. You thought your silent battles made you look weak, but to the right eyes, those moments exposed your real power. Someone influential saw the way you held yourself when everything was falling apart, the pressure you handled that wasn't meant for ordinary people, the storms that should have erased you, and saw you come out the other side with a look that said, "Is that all?" They've been waiting for someone like you, not someone perfect, someone seasoned, scarred, tested, whose strength was carved from survival rather than comfort. You're the proof that quiet resilience is louder than fake confidence. Everything is shifting, not because you begged for attention, but because the universe finally aligned your path with the eyes that could truly appreciate the war you fought to get here. The frequency that exposed every fraud around you. Funny how they called you delusional, but now they're squinting at your glow like it's hurting their eyes. They spent months calling you naive, unstable, too hopeful for your own good. They thought your faith was weakness, your silence was defeat, your patience was proof you were clueless. Here's the twist they never saw coming. Your faith wasn't invisible. It was a frequency so sharp that only the wise could detect its shape. The ones who mocked you weren't wise enough to hear anything except their own noise. That's what irritates your enemies most. They can't understand why you kept rising after every setback. They were operating from ego while you were operating from purpose, chasing attention while you were building strength, waiting for you to collapse while you were quietly leveling up. People who live on surface-level nonsense will always misread a chosen one. They mistake your calm for weakness, your silence for confusion, your faith for delusion. But someone influential, sharp enough to see the truth beneath the mask, picked up your frequency the way a seasoned hunter recognizes a real threat. They didn't discover you, they detected you. The universe doesn't hide warriors in plain sight, it tests them in silence. and you passed tests that would have destroyed most people. The influential one who noticed you didn't see your highlight moments. They saw your survival moments, the nights you fought a storm inside you, but still stood up the next morning, the moments you pushed forward when every logical thought told you to stop. Your consistency became your signature. Your resilience became your identity. Every attempt to distract, drain, or discourage you only refined your signal further. The universe doesn't respond to noise, it responds to alignment. While they tried to bury you in chaos, your inner alignment turned you into a magnet without you even realizing it. Someone influential approached because they recognized a force in you that can't be manufactured, inner power born through survival, humility, discipline, and quiet evolution. You never performed for attention, never begged for validation, never traded authenticity for applause. They built their identity around looking powerful. You built yours around becoming powerful. They chased influence. Influence came looking for you. Faith is not soft or passive. It's a weapon that cuts through fear like steel and reshapes the future. When you chose faith over fear, you triggered ripples far beyond your environment, and someone wise followed the signal straight back to you. They know a person who can choose faith while being crushed by fear is capable of leading and transforming worlds. Your faith sent a signal, your survival gave it shape, your consistency gave it strength, and the universe made sure it reached exactly the mind it was meant for. You didn't get lucky, you got seen. The exam that exposed everyone and crowned you. Wild how they prayed for your downfall, only to end up studying your survival. Your silence during pain was louder than their entire ego parade. You thought the betrayals and loneliness were just a bad season, but every moment was being recorded like evidence. Every choice you made while bleeding was being counted. Your endurance was being examined the way diamonds are tested under pressure. Real strength doesn't come from preparation, it comes from instinct. Anyone can be good when life is soft. Your real character stepped forward when everything fell apart. Every time life expected you to collapse, you took one more step. That's what impressed the powerful one. Not your confidence, your survival moments. While dealing with betrayal, they were watching your emotional intelligence. While fighting invisible battles alone, they were watching your spiritual stamina. While resisting bitterness when it was the easy route, they were watching your maturity. While choosing patience over revenge, they were watching your self-control. This wasn't a test you studied for. It was designed to expose who you really are, and you didn't just pass, you dominated. Two people walk into the same storm. One falls apart, screaming and blaming everybody. The other walks through with steady steps, breathing heavy but moving anyway. The universe crowns the one who didn't flinch. Powerful people respect storm-made individuals, not comfort-made ones. Like a blacksmith placing raw metal into fire, the metal doesn't know the fire is the test. The heat is the teacher, the pressure is the sculptor, and only the strongest material survives the shaping. You weren't being destroyed, you were being forged. This wasn't just a test, it was a doorway disguised as difficulty, a promotion disguised as suffering. You didn't pass because you knew the answers, you passed because you became the answer. Your enemies expected you to drown. You swam. They expected you to snap. You adapted. They expected you to collapse. You evolved. And now someone influential is ready to honor what your endurance revealed, out of real, earned respect. The pressure that revealed who was real and who was just noise. Nothing exposes people faster than your survival. Your resilience didn't just save you, it revealed them. Showed exactly who was solid, who was fake, who was secretly rooting for your downfall, and who was quietly praying you'd make it. Someone influential took notice not because you were loud, but because your strength revealed truths most people pretend not to see. Powerful people follow consistency, not noise. Survival with humility is rare. Strength without ego is rare. Wisdom born from pain is rare, a signal only the wise can detect. The quiet choice that shook rooms you've never entered. Every time you chose trust over fear, you sent out a shockwave that moved through places, people, and situations far beyond your sight. Someone influential felt the tremor of your choices long before they knew your face. like tossing a pebble into a still lake and watching the whole surface shift. That's what your faith did. Real influence isn't built by shouting, it's built by alignment. You didn't chase validation, perform, or crumble, and that authenticity made you unforgettable. The discipline you hid in the dark just lit up your entire future. Everything you did when nobody was watching is pushing you into rooms you once thought unreachable. Picture two people at the base of a mountain, one bragging loudly and taking photos, the other quietly adjusting their gear and studying the path. The one who prepared when no one cared reaches the peak first. Someone influential noticed the integrity you kept when cutting corners would have been easier. Discipline is a seed that grows underground before it breaks the surface. Your sacrifices created stability, your integrity created momentum, and that blueprint is now turning into real, visible blessings. The fire that was supposed to break you turned you into a weapon. Pressure didn't crush you, it evolved you. Picture two people thrown into the same fire. One screams and melts, the other stands still, breathing through the heat like training. You used fear as data instead of an excuse. Pressure exposes what you're really made of. Foam collapses, metal bends, steel strengthens, and you showed the universe your steel. Leaders aren't born in comfort, they're built in crisis. You didn't survive the storm, you became it. And that's why you're being trusted with bigger doors and bigger destinies. The purpose they tried to imitate but could never recreate. Nothing exposes a fraud faster than the presence of someone authentic. They performed confidence like theater, but your strength was carved through survival, pain, and discipline. Picture a room full of people flexing with borrowed light. Then you walk in carrying a fire that wasn't bought or borrowed. The pretenders shrink because real power can't be counterfeited. Someone influential saw a person who shattered the mold and built their own blueprint. The universe doesn't elevate copies, it elevates originals. The grave they dug for you became your launch pad. The places you survived were emotional war zones most people never crawl out of. Heartbreak that rewired your soul, betrayals designed to break your identity, loss that makes people disappear into their own shadows. Yet here you are, rising in a way that terrifies everyone who counted you out. You didn't rot or turn dark, you turned wise, precise, intentional. Someone influential recognized pain-born strength, someone who walked through emotional fire and came out warm-hearted instead of burnt out, turning pain into wisdom instead of armor, heartbreak into clarity instead of resentment. The moment your enemies tripped over their own lies, your faith didn't just protect you, it exposed every hidden enemy who thought they could play in your face and get away with it. Every mask slipped, and you didn't have to scream or defend yourself. Your calm did the heavy lifting. Someone influential noticed how you stayed silent when people poked at your name, chose peace instead of pettiness, stayed steady while others panicked under their own guilt. Your lack of retaliation wasn't weakness, it was strategy and emotional intelligence. Your endurance became evidence, your patience became proof. The quiet power that made the loud ones look weak. Your fearlessness never needed noise. While they panicked and created chaos for attention, you were studying the angles and making moves that didn't need applause to matter. Someone in authority recognized the discipline in the way you handled pressure without letting emotions sabotage you, choosing timing over tantrums, thinking before reacting. Quiet fearlessness is the real kind, the kind that wins wars without theatrics, the kind leaders possess before anyone knows they're leaders. That's why they see you now, not as a survivor, but as a leader hiding in plain sight. The moment they realize you can't be bought or begged into greatness, you don't need an audience to move, applause to act, or approval to become who you were meant to be. While they chased clout like oxygen, you chased purpose quietly and consistently. Picture a hallway full of people desperate to be seen, and then you walking straight through, focused and unfazed. Someone influential noticed your moves weren't reactive, they were aligned. People who chase applause collapse the moment the crowd goes silent, but you move with or without cheering. That makes you dangerous in the best way. Unpredictable, unmanipulatable, unstoppable. And that's why someone influential trusts you with legacy-level opportunities. The calm that turned every mask into dust. Your faith exposed every person who pretended to stand beside you. The moment you chose grace instead of bitterness, every fake, every jealous heart, every opportunist trying to use your light for their own gain got revealed without you lifting a finger. Your peace became a spotlight. Your patience became a detector. When a storm hits, some people run or pretend to help while secretly hoping you fall. Meanwhile, you stand still, and that stillness forces every true intention in the room to surface. Someone influential noticed you never retaliated even when provoked. Your stillness separated the loyal from the leeches, and that maturity is why your reward is already on its way. The darkness that failed to turn you into one of its own. You walked through darkness that should have swallowed you whole, yet refused to become anything like what tried to break you. You faced cruelty without becoming cruel, liars without becoming deceptive, people who weaponized your kindness, yet you never lost it. Picture a tunnel so dark, even your thoughts echo differently. Most people lose themselves there, but you kept your internal flame lit the entire time. Real leaders don't lose their humanity in the dark. They carry it through the dark. You became the one thing darkness can't imitate: authentic light, earned rather than inherited. And that's why someone influential respects you now. You didn't just outlast the darkness, you outshined it. The moment they realized you're built for power, not pity. You're not standing here because you got lucky. You're standing here because you earned it, shaped by seasons that stretched and refined you while others demanded blessings without putting in the work. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared, and someone influential finally recognized that preparation for what it is: readiness. Picture two people at a locked door. One bangs on it, complaining about timing, while the other quietly gathers tools and strengthens their hands. The universe trusts the one who shows they can hold what they're asking for. Your patience wasn't weakness, it was strategy. Your humility wasn't timidity, it was self-control. You're not just ready for blessings, you're ready for weight, for influence, for rooms where decisions matter, and spaces where your voice shifts outcomes. So you're not stepping into destiny clueless or fragile. You're stepping into it with wisdom earned in silence and authority built under pressure. You're not hoping for your moment anymore. You are the moment. You didn't rise by accident. You rose because you were built for this. Every test, every betrayal, every quiet act of discipline shaped you into someone impossible to ignore, and now the universe is responding.